A reading from the Gospel according to Luke, chapter 12, verses 39 to 48. Jesus said to his disciples, "Be sure of this. If the master of the house had known the hour when the thief was coming, he would not have let his house be broken into. You also must be prepared, for at an hour you do not expect the Son of Man will come." Then Peter said, "Lord, is this parable meant for us or for everyone?" And the Lord replied, "Who then is the faithful and prudent steward whom the master will put in charge of his servants to distribute the food allowance at the proper time? Blessed is that servant whom his master on arrival finds doing so. Truly I say to you, he will put him in charge of all his property. But if that servant says to himself, 'My master is delayed in coming,' and begins to beat the men servants and the maid servants, to eat and drink and get drunk, then that servant's master will come on an unexpected day and at an unknown hour, and will punish the servant severely, and assign him a place with the unfaithful. That servant who knew his master's will, but did not make preparations, nor act in accord with his will, shall be beaten severely. And the servant who was ignorant of his master's will, but acted in a way deserving of a severe beating, shall be beaten only lightly. Much will be required of the person entrusted with much, and still more will be demanded of the person entrusted with more." In the text of today's Gospel, Jesus speaks to his disciples about the attitude to assume in view of the final encounter with him, and explains that the expectation of this encounter should impel us to live a life full of good works. Jesus exhorts, "You also must be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect." The disciple is one who awaits the Lord and his kingdom. In the first scene, the steward faithfully carries out his tasks and receives compensation. In the second scene, the steward abuses his authority and beats the servants, for which, upon the master's unexpected return, he will be punished. This scene describes a situation that is also frequent in our time. So much daily injustice, violence, and cruelty are born from the idea of behaving as masters of the lives of others. We have only one master who likes to be called not master but Father. We are all servants, sinners, and children. He is the one Father. Jesus reminds us that the expectation of the eternal beatitude does not relieve us of the duty to render the world more just and more livable. On the contrary, this very hope of ours of possessing the eternal kingdom impels us to work to improve the conditions of earthly life, especially of our weakest brothers and sisters. May the Virgin Mary help us not to be people and communities dulled by the present, or worse, nostalgic for the past, but striving toward the future of God, toward the encounter with Him, our life and our hope.